Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rams Talk. This is our fifth episode in our series here. We're going to talk about the first week of Rams camp and also break down a recap of today's first day in shoulder pads, which we'll get over in just a moment. We want to thank everyone that's subscribed to our YouTube page. As of today, we're at 67 views as we try to hit 100. But again, like and subscribe our page. Stay up to date with the latest from your Los Angeles Rams. As we say, a pleasant Monday evening. I am E. Of course, I have J on Ram logo. Couldn't be on camera tonight, but it's always good to have my partner here. And partner, let me just start off and say, what do you think of training camp so far?
Well, first partner, I want to give a shout out to Rams. We're gonna be using one of their images from Twitter. Shout out to Rams at Rams NFL on Twitter, Instagram. Well, I'm just excited because training camp is we're already halfway through, and we're gonna as we get through these slides, we'll get more into it as we recap it.
Yes, we are getting close to the first preseason game, which we will talk about this week on Sports Talk. We just want to invite you guys to tune in on Thursday on Sports Talk. It is on Spotify and here on YouTube. We'll also can link up here as well. We'll talk about the Hall of Famers and we'll talk about the Hall of Fame game between the Chargers and the Lions as we kick off the 2025 preseason. But let's talk about your Rams, people. That's all
Let's
we're
do
here
it.
for. This is Rams House. Let's get you the latest. So in a developing story that happened over the weekend, Coach Sean McVay has said that Matthew Stafford has been dealing with some back soreness. He did not practice today. He did not participate in full pads today. He is scheduled to return tomorrow, but the Rams say they will take his condition 1 week at a time. But as of right now, from our sources, for what Jay has reported to, there is no setback. He is expected to play in week one on September 7th against the Houston Texans. And pardon, let me ask you a question. Is this a sigh of relief for Ram Nation?
No, I think there's a lot of Rams fans concerned about Matthew Stafford's for to be ready week one because this setback from McVay, he did apologize about saying about him coming back earlier than he thought, but we'll see what his return will be in action tomorrow, his first time in pads, so we'll see how he gets back out there. But we've been seeing a lot of Jimmy Garoppolo and taking over that first offensive team in which I like, but we'll see what it builds up.
Well, having Jimmy Garoppolo on roster is a very financial move, and likewise move for Sean McVay because you do have a guy that knows the system. So in case he does goes down, he'll be there. But my one of my concerns I see is who will be the third quarterback, which we'll see in preseason
Yes,
as we move along here.
perfect. Yeah, partner, even Bennett got some reps in, which could be our third stringer.
Sensen Bennett, who's been with the Rams in and out, gets a
Are you worried about Stafford's back soreness coming into this?
I mean, look, the guy's in his almost his 40s. He's been in the league now, his 17th season. I get you can say, yeah, I am because of his age and his health.
Hmm.
And you wonder how much the body can take. We've seen him take some hits in the last 2 years. And he just came off a neck injury in 22. So a lot of questions there. I mean, we looked at Aaron Rodgers, how he went down and how bad the Jets season went. So um, you always want to have that ace in the hole, and right now it's Jimmy Garoppolo. So we hope that he'll get more reps, and maybe we'll see him in the preseason more. We'll see.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. So as we
So
get into it,
go ahead.
so as we get into it, we'll talk more little by little as we have 10 observations from week one, day four of camp.
Yeah, let's start off with the offense. I mean, we see Jimmy Garoppolo and Devontae Adams. They have a great relationship. They played well in Vegas. Uh, Garoppolo was the reason why Devontae Adams went to Vegas. But both were sad when they went away when Garoppolo went to the Rams and we saw Devontae Adams get traded to the New York Jets, and now he's a Ram, and now these two guys are together. So, as you see, they went from silver and black to blue and yellow, or blue and
Yeah,
gold.
they look better in that blue and gold.
Yeah, one of the things that I was very impressed was their practice. I mean, they were doing the 2 minute drills, and Garoppolo and Devontae they caught together and And one thing I enjoyed was seeing Puka Nakua involved in there as well. That a good sign for both these players out there?
Yeah, I believe that's our top two wide receivers going into the season. And number one would be Devontae Adams, in my opinion. And he's just
Yeah, I would see Puka Nakua as one of the third down receivers where on a third down situation you can get to either him or Puka, but mostly it'll be Puka, kind of like what they did with Cooper Kupp. They used him more on third down. For Devontae Adams, he's going to be used more for maybe first and second downs and maybe deep passes because Stafford can and still can throw the ball deep, and so can Jimmy Garoppolo. He's been known as a ball controller. So um, we just have to see how that goes. But I think the longer they practice, the more rhythm they'll be in. And as long as these three guys stay healthy, the Rams should win. Want to mention too that Garoppolo had a pass tipped by the cornerbacks Kobe Durant and Emmanuel Ford. They each had a tip on him, but after that, I saw the video. Garoppolo just nailed it out to Devontae.
yeah, that video was going viral for a bit. Seeing that connection between those two that they have it in their books, you know? They played together
Yeah,
before. They got it now. And I'm talking about let's get to the next slide as we get into more to our offense. But yeah, as we were talking about the deep passes with Devontae Adams, who easily caught a deep pass for a touchdown. Then even Stedden Bennett even got some reps in with a deep completion to Xavier Smith, which is our another wide receiver we have in which we re-signed this offseason. So we have a lot of reps going between the second string quarterbacks, third string quarterbacks, just in case Stafford is out.
yeah, and that's true. Even though we did see Garoppolo participate on the drills, but we also saw Stetson Bennett get himself a couple reps, and he's got an arm too. So I think if you give him more playing time, then I mean he can actually develop where he'll learn Sean McVay's system. But having Devontae there in the middle with these two there shows that he's going to have a great leadership on the receiving core, and it looks like it's starting to pay off a little bit with Xavier Smith in those team drills. So again, if they can develop these two players, um, there it's gonna be a great showing for this team, who again are actually favored to win this year, according to the Madden 26 creators who developed the game. They have the Rams winning Super Bowl 60.
Let's get it, partner. Hopefully we see this year. I'd love to see
So those
that.
are observations 2 and 3. Now we're gonna go to 4. This is the most attention for Puka Nakua, Devontae Adams, and the recently signed Tutu Atwell, who re-signed for a year. Partner, let me ask you a question. Are all eyes on Tutu Atwell this year? Because he basically disappeared last year.
Yeah, he could be a little secret weapon for us for the long passes, his speed. And I've been seeing a lot of clips of Tutu Atwell this offseason working with another other quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson, which I love to see that because we could use him for the slants and he could break away easily. And you can't forget about Jordan Whittington as well, in which he's been doing amazing this training camp as well.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm looking at these pictures as well, we also should mention about Montana Mumfield, who's a rookie. He
Yeah,
actually had a standout on Saturday
and we
with
signed
his
him this year.
movement. Yeah, and his movement, his skills. I mean, he's actually developing to be quite a player in this defense.
I love that. I love to see this happening. I believe we have more than just we have a lot of weapons in the wide receivers as well. I love that.
Yeah, you got guys like Tutu who can actually step up if he's involved more, and then you have Puka Nakua, who's one of his top receivers, and you have Devontae Adams, who's the leader of this receiving core. And then you look at the defense as well, with Jared Verse and Brian Young, even Quintana Munfield can actually fit up there. So I mean, this draft course was a very young team, and this young age will give the advantage when it comes to speed, especially that's something that the Rams have struggled with over the last couple of years.
Yeah, and I believe we're already thinking about our future about in that wide receiver and quarterback, even if it's Stafford's last year or what happens with Adams after his second year next year. We'll see what way that goes. Now we were just mentioning about Jordan Whittington, observation number 5 on the offensive side. He still remains consistent his second year as a receiver. He's been getting targeted a lot by Jimmy and Bennett as Stafford is out. But hopefully tomorrow we see Stafford back in and we'll see him targeting many of our wide receivers and see how that goes. What you think?
Yeah, I mean we've heard Sean McVay talk about Whittington. You know, he's a great receiver going into his second year, and he could be a reliable target for the rookie, or the not the rookie, but the third string possible, Stanton Bennett. You know, through the team drills, these two guys are actually connecting. From what we have seen, what we have heard, these two are connecting well on these drills. And I mean, you know, the more practice on these drills, more practice will be perfected in an actual game.
Yeah, like that. It's like that word says, practice makes perfect. For sure. All right, it's defensive time. Let's get it. So we do have two injuries, key injuries. One of them is pre our signing, a rookie, Chris Paul, who's a left back, inside the left back. That's what that means, ILB partner.
It is stands for inside linebacker, and that's the rookie Chris Paul, who's known as Pool Paul,
Yeah.
and the cornerback Akilo Weatherspoon, who most of you remember, who caught the game-winning interception on Christmas night against the Cardinals that helped the Rams clinch the West. By the way, I still remember that
He
play.
had an amazing year last year. He came up
He
clutch.
did. He was the clutch in some of these games. And right now, him and Paul are dealing with calf injuries. Coach McVay says that they're being smart, especially with Paul. But the thing is, we did not know more about Weatherspoon because he didn't really go into detail about the situation. But they're being treated as day by day, and I believe from our sources, he did not participate today. So, do you think that's like a grave concern there for Weatherspoon and Poole, or is this more of a, you know, see day by day, see how it goes? Because they don't want to risk these injuries. We've seen already some injuries out there in training camp, especially in Seattle where they lost one of their running backs who tore an ACL. So is this a good move to like kind of put him to the side, or is this like a risk move?
Yeah, this just McVay being smart, like you mentioned in his quotes. Uh, I believe little by little, it's just being smart, especially on the rookie and Witherspoon. These are two key defensive positions that are gonna need to step up this season, and to keep them healthy is priority. All right, let's get to observation number 7. And this is another a lot of key defenders, even tight ends are coming in clutch this training camp. Nate Landman? He's
Yeah,
an
Nate Landman, who's actually being the commander of the field, and even on the huddle on defense. I mean, he's actually getting the defense fired up for what he does. I mean, from what we've seen, from what I saw, he punched the ball out of tight end David Allen during one of those red zone drills, you know, where they practice by the end zone.
Yeah.
And he actually there was a fumble on the play, and that was recovered by the other cornerback, Darius Williams. I mean, he's also the leader again. And you know, we heard
Beside
Coach
him.
McVay talk about both of these guys, and as far as Landman goes, he's got complementary skills and leadership. And just three three things he said was he is great. He's a great communicator.
And that's very important to have in the defense, especially with Verse already commanding all that, and the Kobe Turner and Brian Young. So just having another defensive guy just bringing the leadership on the field, that's great, you know. I love to see that. And
But you're looking at one thing here too, partner. You're looking at a young defense
they're hungry.
that's basically on the rise to compete. We're hearing a lot of good things about these draft picks. Keep in mind, the Rams haven't had a lot of draft picks, you know, in the first couple years of the McVay era, because he would trade away his picks for star caliber players. I mean, we look at the history of trades he's made. You know, the trade he did to bring in, I believe it was Robert Woods or Sammy Watkins. We also looked at where he brought in Brandon Cooks, a wide receiver. He also brought in players as Corey Littleton. He also brought in Pat, not
Allen
Patrick
Robinson.
Surtain,
Allen.
Allen Robinson. Actually, no, he was a free agent.
Oh,
But
okay.
he brought in Aqib Talib. So he traded some of those picks for veteran players. And we also look at what happened in the Super Bowl year where they got Odell Beckham on a trade. They brought in Von Miller on that trade. So he's traded away a lot of picks to win that Super Bowl. So he hasn't had a chance to play rebuild or add special player or not special player, but add young players to a team where these young players can learn from these veterans and then the mantle can be passed to them. And we're seeing a good job here by the Rams because they're not blowing these picks away um, to win another Super Bowl. They're actually doing it the right way by drafting these players, signing free agent players, keeping your key players as well, restructuring contracts, re-signing players, and that's something we haven't seen in the beginning of Coach McVay's era because he was always trading picks to build all-star teams. We look at players such as Ndamukong Suh, Clay Matthews, Aqib Talib, Marcus Peters, Jalen Ramsey. So we've seen all these players that came from trades, and a lot of them are not even on his team anymore. The only team so far that I've seen that's left from the trade was Matthew Stafford when they traded for Goff.
Right.
That's the only trade value I've seen left in the Rams with Stafford. No one else is still left from these trades. Aaron Donald's retired. Von Miller is now a commander. Aqib Talib is retired. Clay Matthews is retired. And Ndamukong Suh is retired. Jalen Ramsey is now a Steeler. So those pieces of that Super Bowl are gone. So now he's looking for those new pieces through these draft picks. And the last 2 years, partner, they've had good draft classes out there. Receivers, quarterbacks. I mean, I'm looking at quarterbacks like Baker Mayfield, partner. He where he came from. We saw how Cam Newton developed well. So there's years where these good players are coming out of college, and I think the Rams got the right ones, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. And our GM scouting, they've been doing a great job scouting players, and these last couple years with our draft picks have been impressive as they
Now, keep in
contribute.
mind, part these scout players haven't had much work because of these draft trades. Now that they're keeping these draft picks, um, I think you're showing the hard work that's paying off when it comes to studying film, as we see clips of uh, Byron Young, who is I
Another
think
player
a big player.
who's contributing and has been amazing since we drafted him as well. He just keeps on getting better and better with the team that we have.
By the way, that also brings us to our observation, which is number 8, Byron Young. He's got a penetration. He's actually making quarterbacks scared. The fact that he's over on the other side of the ball about 99% of the time, it's scary. I mean, we've seen plays where he's got in there. We saw what happened in the playoff game against the Vikings, where he went after Sam Darnold. We saw him during the season against the Seattle Seahawks, where he made his introduction to Geno Smith. We saw him actually inside the pocket. So, I mean, this is one guy that if you're on offense, you have to double team. Because we talked about Aaron Donald, how great he was. But with him there, with Jared Verse there, and you look at these young players building up, I think that, I don't know where these analysts are saying that this is the worst defense. I don't see a bad defense here. I don't. I don't know what you're seeing, partner, but I don't see a bad defense here.
Nah, me either. We proved it last year. Yeah, a little slow start, but second half of the year, I feel like we're gonna start off fresh how we finished off last year, and our defense is hungry, and they're gonna get even hungrier, and I love it. We're gonna go back right into it this year.
Yeah, and then he's got a great power when it comes to bull rushing. You know, his moves, how quick he is, just how he just acts out there on the field. It just shows um how great he is. And here's the thing: in practice, he actually ran down a quick guy, this rookie Jarquez Hunter, who was a running back. He actually tried to run it to the side corner, and guess who was behind him? Or guess who he met? He met Zero, Agent Zero.
Agent Zero.
You know, if he's keeping Zero, that's what I want to call him from here on out. I'm gonna call him Agent Zero because he's giving the offense a zero. If you see this, folks, a zero chance to get
I
away
love
from
it.
zero.
I love it.
Here's the thing: you're either gonna deal with zero or eight, and that's why this is observation eight.
That's a great observation for sure, partner. And
And speaking of
number
number eight, here's our ninth observation, which is the the next greatest defensive player on this team, Jared Verse.
hmm
We saw what he did last year, folks. We saw how he compared everything. We saw how he did in the playoff game. He talked the talk and he walked the walk.
hmm
There is nothing else you can say anything bad about this guy. He goes off in the mouth, but his action on the field backs it up. No
decent player
questions
of the year right
asked.
there. Uh-huh. This is the guy who gets double coverage every snap, double
And I
team.
want to read this as I see you see it here. I want to read this what Coach McVay said. This is what he said. He says, quote, one of the things that make Jared great is that edge that he plays with. I can't remember. It's the same things that Aaron Donald and I used to talk about when he was playing. You don't want to take that away from him, but you want to make sure that you are able to reset from one snap to the next. We always talk about responding, not reacting. And I like the way he finished practice.
Yeah.
Now, imagine if Aaron Donald didn't come out of retirement. This would have been a great this would have been a great 1-2 combination on the defensive
Amazing.
line. You have Aaron Donald lining up on one side of the field. You have Jared Verse lining up on the other side or in the middle or in linebacker position. These guys would have caused havoc on the offense. You know, even in his final years, Aaron Donald was so good that even offensive linemen had to double team this guy.
1,000,000%.
I
And
mean, pretty soon Jared Verse is gonna have to get that same treatment.
he was already having it this last year and his rookie year.
But keep in mind that that's going to continue more because this guy's going to be a threat. Even we talked about this on the show last month. One of the offensive lineman players who retired said they didn't want to face this guy because
hmm
this guy is just dangerous.
Yeah, and
And
I
that's
got
a five. And that was a five-time Pro Bowler that said
yep,
that too.
yep, there you go. That just explains the dominant he presents on the defensive side. And we only seen him 1 year. We have this is just the start of him.
And here's the thing, folks: these pictures that you're seeing are from training camp. These are without pads. Now, just imagine today when they put the pads on. I'm telling you right now, this guy was a beast today.
The way he plays versus every week and out, I think that's the same way he practices, and that's what I love. You got to bring the same energy in and out, even if it's just training. And his off-season workout with Eric Donald, I think that just gave him more confidence. Just having Eric Donald there as a coach.
And these two guys worked out together too. And I saw this on Fox 11 yesterday when they were doing their sports show. They actually showed the interview, and then they also show videos of him and Aaron Donald working together. When you have one of the greatest defensive line players in history training you, that shows something right there that he sees you as that next, in Brock Lesnar's terms, the next great big thing.
100%. And I just can't wait. I just can't wait because I feel like Aaron Donald could do a comeback if he wants to. And if that happens,
I'll
just
tell you
give
right
it
now, if this Rams team goes deep in the playoffs, he might come back. We
they
saw it
could
with
do.
Eric Weddle. Eric Weddle did it the year they won it. Who who says it won't happen? It could happen.
It's good.
I know Aaron Donald keeps saying
Yeah.
that he's happy,
Yeah.
life after football, and that's true. But if there's an opportunity to at least win one more, because look, as a football player, your ultimate goal is to always win a Super Bowl. You always want to win a championship,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the challenge of after you win it because you won it once, but something inside of you
You're
just wants to
hungry.
win it one more time, you know? It's
Yep.
like, look, I won it. It feels great, but it would be nice to win it again. And you know who I got that from?
Ooh.
That was Bill Parcells, a great coach. When he won the Super Bowl with the Giants, he had that opportunity. He won some Super Bowls,
Mm-hmm.
and he always wanted to win a third one, which he wasn't able to. But when he won his first one, he wanted to win it again. When he won the second one, it was so special, but he wanted to win it one more time. In Aaron Donald's case, I'm pretty sure his somewhere in his heart is gonna say, "Look, I want to win this one more time. I want to win it. I want to get another ring."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Especially with the
telling you
amazing
right now,
defense.
I'll say it on this show. If they go far, he could come back. He
And I
might
believe
come back.
and I believe we have a better defense as we had when we had him.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be amazing, man. I
Because
can't
look, just imagine, folks, if he was still on this defense with all these teams.
she'll be we'll be unstoppable, to be honest.
No, every quarterback's gonna be getting life insurance.
That's a good one.
And last but not least, though, we reached the end of observation number 10. Here it is, folks.
Another guy stepping up, Troy
Troy
Reader.
Reader.
I'll be honest, I wasn't a fan of him at first. He would do a lot of casual mistakes, but as he got more into the system and getting he did a lot of like last year he contributed and did a bigger impact, and as this year rose, hopefully he does the same.
Hey, I'll say it like this. I wasn't a fan of him too, but after what I saw yesterday and today, I'm starting to believe this guy is worth of keeping. Yeah, he picked off Bennett, but he might pick off Patrick Mahomes. Who knows?
Yeah, and he has done it in the past. Last year he did a couple key fumble recoveries and tackles and interceptions, so hopefully he steps in.
And he's a good ball reader because from what I saw yesterday, Bennett was trying to reach somebody in the middle of the field, but Reader kind of read his eyes and he snagged the ball because he knew where he was going to throw it to. So he has the ability to kind of eye out where he can read the quarterback's mind or he could read his movements because he was able to intercept Bennett in practice. Now imagine if he's able to do that in a real game.
Yeah, hopefully we see that this year. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
I believe we could. I mean, this is the one guy I would definitely want to keep on defense.
Then the next light partner I want to talk about, yeah, I'm not sure if you've seen, but we're gonna have new uniforms.
Yep. And before we get to that, I just want to say those are our top 10 observations in week one on training camp. And I can't wait to show what observations we've seen this coming week. Again, we know that they went at it today. It was a great practice, full pads. It was tough not to see Stafford there, but we hope, according to reports, we hope to see him out there tomorrow.
Yep, tomorrow morning, which will be a Tuesday, July 29th.
Also, you can catch the training camp access on the NFL Network. I believe they air it all day from like what 8 o'clock to about 5 p.m. I don't know, depending on
Yeah.
your central time zone. I know the Rams and Chargers they practice late here, so do the 49ers, but um, you can
Yeah,
watch NFL Network for latest reports, and also you can stay on this show on this programming for the latest updates as well.
yeah, let's get it. So
And
this
then
next,
again, we want to surprise. Jay already mentioned it. The Rams are unveiling new uniforms.
yeah,
Not drum
but
rolls, but click please.
but for there's a lot of speculations yet. There's no 100% confirmation yet, but there's a lot of rumors about the color scheme to dark midnight blue to black and
But
gold.
let's get a sneak peek though, as we say, click please, and there it is.
I I love it. To be honest, partner, I love this color. What's your observation on this?
Now, are we the Los Angeles Rams or are we the University of West Virginia? I mean, or are we the Michigan Wolverines? Because, man, I'm not sure if they want to keep these colors because there might be a lawsuit when it comes to those copyright colors.
No, partner, I
I
love
don't
these
know about
colors
that.
because I don't think it's the black. I think it's gonna be midnight blue. because as we get to the next slide in a bit, there's a lot of merch selling on during training camps, and this is the color schemes that popped up.
And
And
just a friendly reminder, folks, if you are attending the camps, you can always check out the concession stands. You can get your latest Ram gears and those new colors as well. But something new that the NFL is doing this year, they're doing uh, I guess a color rush for rivals. You know, when the rivalry teams play, like if the Rams play the 49ers or the Rams play the Seahawks or other teams playing their longtime rivals, I mean, you're gonna see colors like this. I think some teams already unveiled those colors. I know the Bills, the Buffalo Bills said they're gonna and reveal those. They're gonna be wearing those retro red helmets that they wore in the '90s this season.
oh, nice. Okay,
So
okay.
I'm not sure, but the thing is, I'm not sure because we haven't got a confirmation, but we're not sure if it's for the season or just for a couple games. But they're gonna bring back those retro uniforms, and some teams are thinking about it too. And I think the Titans too might be doing that as well. But again, this is all speculation, but we know that the Bills are going to bring back some classic helmets. So, I mean, let me ask you, were you a fan of those helmets back then, or you like the ones they have now?
No, I love the little retros. Bring back the retros, couple games. I don't think they'll wear them all season, but they'll have them in like key games, key primetime games.
But stay tuned, folks, for that. We'll get more information on that. But again, we are counting down. It's just under 2 weeks until the Rams open up their preseason game. Just a friendly reminder as well. We will be on Sports Talk this week. As you know, we co-host that show as well. We're gonna talk about the preseason, the Chargers and Lions, and then we'll give an update on all the training camp news that's gone around the NFL as we get set for the kickoff of the 2025 season for your defending NFC West champion Los Angeles Rams.
That partner, and before the show went live, 10 minutes ago before the show went live, I got an email about spring training tickets available, but they sold out in under 2 minutes. I didn't get a chance to even.
Oh yeah, I know. I could in the training camps too in the preseason. I believe there's still tickets available. You can check out Rams.com. You can go to the box office at SoFi or reach out and we'll see if we can get that info for you.
Yeah,
But
and make sure
the
everybody who joins the training camp to go get your new Rams merch and go support the Rams.
yeah,
Let's
do
go.
not miss it. Get your Rams merch.
Let's
Very
go.
important to support your team this season because I feel another Super Bowl is coming, folks. I believe they have the team to do it.
I believe so as well. I'm very confident as well.
The Chiefs ain't that big of a threat, so I don't care about that.
Yeah, and the Eagles were not this year. Not this year.
Not this year. Sorry, they're gonna crash and burn.
Yep. We're hungry for it.
So we have come to the end of our programming. Unfortunately, it's one of the things we don't like, but it is a business. But partner, any final thoughts on week one and what you look forward in week two?
Just another great episode, partner. We covered the weekend, the first couple 4 days, and what our next show will cover more about what happens this week with pads on, Stafford back, and any new updates on key injuries on the defensive side. And yeah, partner, just excited. Let's get it. Another Ram show down. Road to 100 viewers. Let's go. Make sure to like, subscribe, and keep hitting that like button.
And just also again reminder, Thursday we'll have sports talk on our other YouTube channel, Sports Talk with Ed. Also, we will try to have our show next week outside. We're gonna try to do some new things with this program. And one of the things we're trying to do is have an outside show. Maybe try to do it somewhere where we can get like a live audience or anything like that. We'll
We could
keep trying
interview
on that.
somebody. Or if we could get an interview of somebody to join our show, and we could ask them a couple questions about the Rams season, a couple Rams fans or some Rams
Yeah, if you're also
executives,
if you want to get on the show, if you want to like comment, the comment sections below here,
or
type out your info.
have a conversation or debate about anything. We'll be welcome. We'll love to have
So
that.
just also a friendly reminder that we do respect everyone's opinions. So let us not attack other people. Let's just make sure we have a debatable, a clean conversation. Let's kind of like keep the language clean. Because this is a pro show. So just a friendly reminder of that. Let's make sure we keep the language clean. We don't need FCC coming after us.
Yep,
Um,
100% professionalism.
yes, yes. And then, like I said, like we said, if you want to get on the show, drop us a message on there. One of us will get back to you, and we'll get to you privately. We'll protect confidentiality, so you don't have to worry about that. But again, we want to thank everyone for joining us on this Monday night. Training camp's underway. We can't wait. And we hope to see everyone on our next show. Again, we're gonna do many things with the show. Just bear with us as we try to make new things, improve it in this century, I guess we could say that. But partner, any final words before we go off the air?
Just another day, another podcast, partner.
Yep.
Let's
I
get
want
it.
to thank everybody here for joining us on Rams Talk. This is J, I, and E. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week on Rams Talk.
Whose house?
Rams House.
Let's go. Good episode, bro. Good shit.